who live on Earth, and everything is relatively normal and okay until a mysterious pod crash lands in a farmer's field. From this particular pod emerges a guy named Raditz, who turns out to be a Saiyan, a guy with a tail from a distant planet. He's a very powerful being and threatens the existence of Earth. So Goku is forced to team up with his once nemesis Piccolo, a green alien Namekian from the planet Namek. They're able to defeat Raditz, though Goku's son Gohan is captured. While captured, Gohan displays his martial arts abilities and manages to break out of the capsule. Unfortunately, Goku is shot dead by Piccolo's special beam cannon attack as they defeat Raditz. Gohan is rather embittered by this, but after Raditz reveals before he dies that more Saiyans are on their way, Gohan realizes that he needs to train up and get really strong in order to prepare for the time when the Saiyans arrive. Piccolo takes him under his wing, and they travel into the desert and begin to train. Meanwhile, Goku has been sent to the next dimension, which is basically a wacky version of heaven. He has to run across a really long road to get to the planet of King Kai, the sort of ruler, I guess, of heaven, and learn more martial arts techniques so that he can become powerful enough to return and fight the Saiyan. So Gohan and Piccolo train up along with the rest of the Z squad. So you've got Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, and Yajirobe. Eventually the Saiyans arrive. This comes in the form of Nappa and Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyan. They hope to reconquer Earth and I guess also kill Goku because he is actually the long-lost brother of Vegeta. Gohan and Piccolo and the rest of the Z squad manage to briefly beat off Nappa and Vegeta, but prove to be no real match for them, as Vegeta is ridiculously powerful. Fortunately, Goku arrives back on Earth, having traveled back along the Serpent Road after learning various techniques from King Kai, including the powerful Kaioken attack, which increases his power by 10 times or something like that. Anyways, eventually they defeat Vegeta and Nappa. They kill Nappa, but Vegeta is left alive. It turns out that Vegeta is the last of the Saiyans along with Goku, since previously the Saiyan planet was destroyed by Frieza, an even more powerful villain who lives out in space. Frieza had initially used the Saiyans as her sort of shock troops, but she eventually hears a legend of the Super Saiyan, a being with incredible power. Unfortunately, some of these Saiyans start to display this, so she decides to prevent an insurrection. She'll just kill every Saiyan. Nappa and Vegeta and Raditz manage to survive. They get back to Earth, but of course then events happen, so it's basically just Vegeta and Goku, and I guess Gohan, kinda. So Goku decides to travel to the planet Namek, where Frieza is heading next. Frieza hopes to arrive at Namek and acquire the Namekian Dragon Balls, which will grant her a wish, allowing her to become the supreme ruler of the universe. Piccolo and Gohan and Krillin and I believe Tien travel along with them, and Bulma travel along with them to the planet Namek. Once they arrive at the planet Namek, they confront Frieza and the Ginyu Squad, an extremely powerful band of mercenaries, who they eventually defeat one by one. Eventually, Goku is forced to confront Frieza by himself, at which point he becomes a Super Saiyan. This allows him the power to defeat Frieza, but also destroys Namek. They manage to get back to Earth. However, once they get back to Earth, they're confronted again by Frieza, who's there with her father, King Cool. They do manage to defeat the two, but only with the help of Trunks, a man from the future, who is the son of Vegeta and Bulma. Trunks has time traveled from a post-apocalyptic past, or post-apocalyptic future, in order to try and prevent a deadly illness from infecting Goku and killing him, thus preventing Goku from fighting off the android. The androids were killed by a doctor whose name I can't remember, but Goku defeated him in the original Dragon Ball and sent him to Hell. While he was in hell, he constructed several yeah, I know, this sounds really weird. While he was in hell, he constructed several androids, who he then sends up to the surface, I guess, or goes from Hell Planet or something, I don't know. These androids are intended to take over the Earth and exact revenge against Goku. The androids are eventually defeated gradually, though not before another android, Cell, arrives. Cell is an extremely powerful android whose purpose is to absorb the other androids and make them a part of himself. By doing this, he becomes an even more powerful being, with the goal of absorbing the 3 androids and becoming perfect Cell. Cell's unique ability is, 1, he can absorb the androids and other beings through his tail, thus increasing his power, and 2, he can regenerate even from a single cell, hence his name. So, this guy is really bad and difficult to defeat. They rescue some of the androids, but eventually 2 of them are defeated by Cell and absorbed. Only Android 18 manages to avert this. So then Cell has to fight the various Z fighters. To make it more fun, he decides on something called the Cell Games, which will basically be a martial arts competition. As they fight, he gradually absorbs the rest of the Z fighters, including Android 18, if I remember correctly, and becomes perfect Cell. Fortunately, Gohan flips the hell out and manages to defeat Cell, thus releasing everybody else from Cell's grasp and restoring them, I think. I'm kind of sketchy on the Cell saga. I didn't watch that much of it. Anyways, so Cell is defeated and things look okay, except that a very powerful wizard arrives on planet Earth, carrying with him a extremely powerful figure called Boo. Basically, Boo is a giant, fat, pink guy, except he's like the most powerful being to ever exist. He's kept under control by this particular wizard, and is used to basically threaten planets and get what he wants. However, it turns out that Boo isn't actually evil, he's just been misled by this wizard. After defeating the wizard, fortunately a guy named Mr. Satan, who is sort of a comical martial arts fighter guy, befriends Boo and convinces him to turn to a life of good. Unfortunately, when bandits shoot the puppy that Boo has been taking care of, he flips out and separates into 2 different forms. Kid Boo, which is just this horribly, horribly evil bad guy, and normal Boo, who's the Boo from before. And if I remember correctly, they have to fight Kid Boo, who is, like, literally the most powerful being ever. They eventually manage to defeat him with the help of Good Boo, who reabsorbs him, and then Boo just kind of sticks around because he's a good guy. And that's all of the original Dragon Ball. I didn't watch Dragon Ball GT.